call is now being recorded.
So, previous class we have just introduced ourselves to notebooks. With your practice, everyone. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hi, sir. This is Seshu.
Please tell me.
You can continue the class, sir, but in the ending, I just want to show you that while creating this Databricks one, like workspace and all, I'm getting some error, like while running. If you can check in the end of this class.
Sure. Yeah, I'll come to your screen.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Just remind me, okay, after the class.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we'll start our session next 1 minute time. Please get ready with your observation. Please get ready with your notes. Start our session. Yeah, please check your mic. Please check your. We start our session. Previous class we are talking about SQL notebooks with Python, right? It's the basic example. Last class.
Yes, sir.
Previous class. Yes, sir. Right. Now let's understand about a different concept. How to work with Azure SQL Server. We'll configure one Azure SQL Server. Understand how to use it in our notebooks. Do it carefully. Let's wait for a few moments. Start our session now. Well, so previously we understood about the concept of data extraction and little bit of select statement analysis. Now let's concentrate on data load activities. We'll do it here. Let's understand now. It's a simple, straightforward process. I assume you are doing the practice on time. Please do not delay the practice part. Delayed practice will not work for our classes. Really, won't work. Let's get started. Now let's understand data loads using Python notebooks to Azure SQL data. First, let's understand. Firstly, we need to create SQL server in Azure portal. This one first, the green box. Let's start it from there carefully. Simple, straightforward process. Yes, you practice. Everyone, please confirm. Did you practice the previous examples? basic notebooks from SQL part. Practice everyone. Please come. Please, others.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Others, please.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's get started then. Simple, straightforward process on how to work with the ETL operations on Python. So our example plan today. Firstly, we create one Azure SQL server. Then next step, we'll upload the file, or we can reuse the already uploaded file from DBM. The Spark cluster notebook is going to read the file and write it database. So let's configure the destination, Azure SQL Server destination. Let's configure it first. A simple, straightforward process. Really simple and straightforward. Observe carefully. Create Azure SQL Server or SQL Server in Azure. Log into Azure portal. Log into Azure portal and go to resource. We need to search for SQL Server logical server. Here it is. We need to search for something called SQL Server logical server. Go to all resources. Go to all resources. Click on create resource. Click on this logical server. Once we click on logical server, next, good to write our own observations. Click on create. Click on create. And in your case, subscription will be free trial subscription. Just leave the resource group to the default as it is and provide the server name. I'll say, for example, SQL School Azure SQL Server. Give some name. Any name is fine. Then complete server name would be whatever name you provide. Dot database dot windows dot. Give the complete server name, location, authentication method. Say let's give it as SQL authentication. Let's leave it to the default SQL authentication. Admin login name and password. Okay, admin login name and password. We are using the admin login name. Observe carefully. Give the admin login name, password, confirm password, and click review plus create. Again, click create. I'll repeat once again in case you're writing your observation notes. Firstly, go to all resources. Okay, come on, what next? What we need to do? Click on create resource.
Create resource.
Create resource. Then what next? Come on, I'll wait. Yes, here it is. SQL Server logical server. Here. Now click create. Click on create. Next. Provide the server name. Any server name is fine. The server name should be unique. We need to give lowercase name only. Okay, it should be lowercase. Location can be any location of your choice. Okay, any location is fine. Then give some location. Okay, any location of your choice. Let me just take a different location like this. Give the admin login name and password. Remember the authentication is SQL Server authentication or SQL authentication. Click review plus click view. Okay, once we get this created, the next step, what we need to do as per the diagram, we need to create database, right? Server is ready, the green item, the green box. Now database should be created. Some background sound. Let's continue. Some background sound. Let's continue. So log into Azure portal, home resource, search, specify resource group. Subscription will be free subscription. Specify resource group name. Resource group, I'll say specify any name. Okay. Then we're already aware of this group. I'll say create or select existing one. Okay. Any option is fine. Next. Server name. I'll just mention this way. Server name, specify any name, must be unique in entire Azure. Okay, that's the server name. Next, authentication, SQL authentication. Okay, next, admin name, specify any name, password, set password. Okay, specify the name and set password. Combination of digits and alphabets, symbols. Any name is fine. Set a password. Then review plus create and create. So make sure we have this server created. Then step number 2. Once we create this server, the green box, this one green box. Step number 2, create. So step number 1, I'll write this way. How to create SQL server in Azure portal, also called Azure SQL server. Now, our requirement, how to create database above Azure SQL server. Okay, let's understand it carefully. This is taken as Azure SQL database. How? Let's see. From Azure portal, click on above created Azure SQL Server resource and go to overview page. Click on create database. Click on create database and specify below details. Okay, so here it is. Database name we need to provide. Database name we need to provide. Any name is fine. There is something called compute plus storage. There is something called compute plus storage. Click the hyperlink. Then select say drop down. There is one drop down. We'll see now. And select basic plan. And that's it. Review plus create. Okay, so here we go. Review plus create and then create. Okay, so here we go. Let's understand now. Firstly, your server is ready. Now go to database. Yes, go to resource. You see overview page. Go to resource, you see overview page. Click on create database. See here. Click on create database. Click on create database. Give database name. Any name is fine. Okay, any name is okay. Give some database name. This one, database name. Compute plus storage. Configure database. Compute plus storage. Click on configure database. Only two things here. Database name, compute plus storage. Here comes the concept of DTU. Select basic for less demanding workloads. Basic means 5 DTU, 5 units of processor and memory. Five units of processor and memory, 5 DTUs. More the number of DTUs, more price would be involved and more size. For now, 5 DTUs, 5 data transaction units. Click apply. So just select the basic plan for now. So compute plus storage, click on configure database. Here it is. Compute plus storage, click on configure database. Drop down, select basic plan. Here it is. 5 DTUs. Okay, 5 DTUs means 5 data transaction units. These are responsible for processor and memory allocation, or simply say used for processor and memory allocation. more DTUs means more cost is involved. Okay, so your database name, compute plus storage. Then review plus create. This one. Just only two things. Database name, compute plus storage, review plus create. Once we get this created, then, so what we did so far, server ready, database ready. By default, the server is not enabled for connections. We cannot connect to the server by default, security. Let's understand how to set up firewall rules for remote access to Azure SQL Server. Firewall rules and enable remote access for Azure SQL Server. Yes, here it is. Azure portal. Click on above created Azure SQL Server resource. Go to overview page. Once we go to overview page, we need to click on show networking settings. Here it is. Go to resource. Your database is ready. Your empty database is ready. So server ready, database ready. Now what we need to do? Go to resources, all resources. Click on the server. We got one SQL server, right? This one, Azure SQL server. Click on this server. Remember, previously we went to create database. This one. Few minutes back, create database. Now, networking. Show networking settings. Click on networking settings. Okay, next. Click on networking settings, then we need to go down to firewall rules. Add firewall. Click on add firewall rule. I'll repeat once again. What we do? Overview page. Go to all resources, overview page. Show networking settings. Okay, back to the nodes. Show networking settings. Then you see firewall rules. Click on firewall rule. Add firewall rule. Give the name. We need to provide the target IP address, like who is connecting. Their IP address you have to mention. For time being, let's give 0 to 255. In reality, Azure admins, networking admins will be taking care about IP address allocations. They give us the range of IP address for individual teams involved in the project. Say dev team, so and so IP address range. Test team, so and so IP address range, etc. For time being, let's give 0 to 255. Right. Provide the server, Azure SQL server, and the database third IP address. Click Save. Now back to our notes. So firewall rules. Add firewall. Set a rule name. Okay, so specify a rule name and specify start end IP address range. Example 0.0.0 to 255. I'll just mention this way. Start IP address range. Start IP address. Example 0 and IP address range. Say for example 255. Just in case for your easy practice. And next, exceptions allow Azure services and resources to access the server. Select this option. Click Save. Allow other Azure services and resources to access the server. Click Save. Exceptions allow Azure resources to access the server. Click Save. Allow services and resources. Okay, just click Save. So what we did so far, we understood first server, then database, then firewall. Once it is done, next step, let's understand the next activity. We need to test connection. Let's see now how to test the connection. Test connections to Azure SQL Server from your local SSMS tool. Okay, let's see how to test connections. Okay, so here it is. From SSMS, your computer, SSMS tool, let's verify the connection to SQL database. So far we got server ready, database ready. Now let's test the connections. Then we can concentrate on the actual notebook for pumping the data. Let's see the connection. So your local SQL server, your local SSMS. Let's verify the connection to the server inside Azure. So for this purpose, here we go. From Azure portal, go to overview page. Go to overview page and document. Copy the server name and admin name. Copy server name, admin. Here it is. From overview page, we are right now in the server overview page. Previously, what we did, create database. Show networking settings. Now we get a database. For some reason, it's grayed out. I'll simply refresh it. Just refresh. Simple, straightforward process. That's great. Okay, so here we go. I'll take this. Firstly, we had the server name. Then database you created the overview page. What else? Networking. Firewall rules we got the overview page. Now what we do is get the server name and admin. copy the server name and admin server admin, both. So here you see small copy to clipboard. Launch SSMS. Any version is okay. Launch SSMS. Any version of SSMS is fine. Remember, you are connecting to a server outside Azure. Outside your computer. Inside Azure. Outside your computer. It's no longer a local server. It's a network one. Let's wait for some time. This prompts for the server name. So where is server name? Here. Copied server name. You need to give it server name like this. You remember we said SQL server authentication. Provide this login name, nothing but this server admin. Give the login name and password. Give the login and password. And click OK. Okay. With this information. So we have the server name, login password, say connect. Okay. Once you hit connect, we are able to get the server name and database. Observe carefully. Shall I repeat once again the connection or not required? Let me know, please. I'll wait. Right. Yeah. Let's continue then. Others, shall I repeat it or not required? Let me know.
All good.
All good.
Not
Continue.
required. That's fine. Perfect. Perfect. Once it is, yeah, whatever password you provided, like this one on the screen. You set one password earlier, right? Isn't it? Okay, while creating the server, you got a password, right? That user, that name, server name, that admin name, and that password, whatever you have. Something. Fine. So once we connect, so from your computer, what we do, launch SSMS to any version is okay. Launch SSMS to, and here provide the database engine. So I just put this launch SSMS tool, and here I'll quickly give the notes, because it is right, but after some days, in case you wanted to revisit, it should be easier and straightforward for us. Yes, so here we go to Windows Apps, search. Yes, go to Windows Apps and type SSMS, launch SSMS tool. Okay, once you launch SSMS tool, then server type should be database engine, right? Database engine. Server type should be database engine. And this is what I'm talking about. Server type should be database engine. This one top. Server name should be whatever server name you have. Server name should be paste the server name you have from step number, or simply say from step number 1. Okay. Server authentication should be SQL authentication, right? SQL server authentication, and admin name would be paste the server, or simply specify complete server name. One more thing, complete server name. This complete name you have to get. Then server admin. Admin name equal to specify the server admin you have from step number 1. Okay. And password, you have to specify the password. Specify the password for above server admin you have from step number 1. And then finally we have to say connect. Once you connect, what next? Verify that you see database you created from step number 2 above. Okay. Make sure we are able to get this information. Next. Once you get all this content ready, now, yes, we're happy to proceed with our notebook example. So firstly, come on, what are the 4 steps now? Firstly, server name, right? Next, database, then firewall, then connections. Are we clear so far? Let me know. We need to get into the notebook.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let me know, please. Time waste.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Others, let me know, please. I'll wait. Okay. Let's continue. So our next.
Yes.
Naga, please tell me, Naga. Proceed.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Fine, fine. Let's continue. Once we have this information ready, then what's our actual requirement now? Requirement is to get the data from your AD, sorry, not AD, database, DBMS. To get the content from DBMS to SQL database. That's our requirement. Let's go to notebook, because you already uploaded the file last week. We had the file with you. Right? We have the file. Let's use it in the notebook and see how to load data into SQL database. How to do that? So here it is. Well, step number 5. Create Databricks service and create cluster. Create Databricks service if needed. I'll say if needed. Okay. So here it is. If you already have Databricks service and cluster, you can reuse it. Okay. So here it is. Log into the portal. Create resource, and Databricks provide the required Databricks service name. Pricing here would be free. Don't create one more, not required. I'll say this step is optional. Step is optional. If you have the Databricks service in your Azure account, then skip this step. Okay, so here you skip this entire step to make it more clear. So log into Azure portal and I'll simply say create Azure Databricks resource. Okay. Next, inside or simply say launch the workspace, launch workspace, create a single node cluster, then import. We also call it as mount. Remember the technical term import means mount the given CSV file to DBFS. Okay, and no need to create any table, just mount it. Okay, now we did the impact. We already have the file with us. Okay, we already have the file with us. Need not create any table. Now document the file path. Well, I'll just put this way otherwise. Let's do it in a simple step for clarity, easy understanding. Here it is. From workspace, left side you see something called as data. Okay, go to data. Import event CSV file to DBFS. Left side you see something called data. This one. Go to data. Create table. Here it says drop files to upload. Drop files to upload. Select the file. It's already there. I just want to upload it again to show you. So this is the file uploaded to so and so file. We'll see other ways to verify the path for existing files. There are commands we need to run. For now, you have this file path documented manually. Copy and paste. Okay, so we have Databricks, service, then cluster, then mount file. Mount means upload the file. Upload the file to DBFS. Get this file path. Okay, something like this. Document the file path. Then finally, define notebook for data extraction. From where? From DBFS. And write to Azure SQL database we created above. Well, let's understand here. So here we go. From Databricks workspace, left side create notebook and select Python. Your file is uploaded. I did not create any table, just leave it as it is. Now plus simple create notebook. I'll call it X, for example, notebook 4, Python. Click create. Once we click create, next, make sure the cluster is attached. Now what we need to do, we need to extract the data from DBFS. Come on, tell me, which function we need to use? Yes, for data extraction, which function we can use?
Read
Reads, yes.
on data frame.
No problem. It's not too late. You may need to refer to the simple notes that you are getting on a day-to-day basis, or to the previous class course here and content. We need to read the content, and here it is. In our case, you need to provide, in my case, something like this. Previous classes, HKGP practice, there you have spark.read.6. Now SQL context.read.6. Say run cell like. Okay. Now command took so and so time. Click plus. Once your data frame is ready, of course we can do transformations. But for now, for this example, to simplify our understanding, we'll do transformations next. Tomorrow's class will take the transformations. For now, what we'll do is simply get the data loaded to the destination. So how to get the data to the destination? Yes, your data frame is ready. Now with this data frame, let's go back to the notes. I think I have something called Azure SQL database. So provide proper server name, database. Port number is always 143. And this will be the URL format, JDBC SQL server. 0 means first parameter host. The parameters. 0 host name, 1 port number, and 2 is database. So this would be the preparation. Server name, port, database name, username, password. Go back. So firstly you have data frame. Then we have this username, password with the credentials authenticated to your target Azure SQL server and database. Provide the details correctly. Okay, then next, final step. So data frame ready. This will be the source. Destination details are given to the required variable. One variable is called URL variable. Now that would be used for writing data to your destination. For writing data to the destination, we need to have PySpark.SQL. From PySpark.SQL import and new data frame. From PySpark SQL, there is one class called data frame writer class that takes MyDF. What is MyDF? The first one. Extracted the data from the input file. The data in the format of data frame, you are giving it to data frame writer. Observe carefully. Next. From here, we have my final DF. I mean the modified data frame dot JDBC. We got one URL, right? JDBC colon SQL. So data frame dot JDBC provide the first parameter URL of previous command, previous cell. table name. Initially, there is no such table. Go to destination and you can say new query. Just right click database. Right click database and say new query. Let's verify that no such table that was mentioning right now in the notebook. It's taking a bit longer time. Anyway, the table would be created. We'll see. But now let's go back in the meantime. So here your table would be created once we execute this command. If table already exists, you can have override also. Okay. Next, properties. Properties mean here username, password. Something called as the username password. Those are the properties. So we have to provide URL. We need to supply the URL. We need to supply the table name. What else? Mode, which is completely optional. And username password to establish connection using the URL. The order can be anything. Let's verify it first. Let's connect to the server and I'll verify that there is no such table. Select from table name. Yes, initially no table called TBL sales. Okay, no table called TBL sales. Back. Now run it. Remember, there is something called data frame writer. For the purpose of data frame writer, we have PySpark.SQL module. The other driver, JDBC, I said, right? The JDBC driver is by default part of your cluster configuration. If you go to compute, click on the cluster. Down you see something called advanced. It is required for our next examples. And here you see the JDBC ODBC connection. The drivers are auto installed with the JDBC connections for the cluster. Whenever you create cluster, the drivers will be auto installed, just like SQL. If you install SQL server, you get SNAC automatically, SQL native client driver automatically. Same way. Or install Excel, you get jet drivers automatically. We say JET jet drivers, OLEDB jet drivers. Same way, go to this notebook. You have something called JDBC. Yes, your table is ready. Now go to destination and verify. The table and data would be available. For today, we are doing the verification from SSMS. Very next example, we are going to read data back from the Azure SQL server into Node. For today, it is writing. Next example, we need to concentrate on the reading activities also. We'll do it carefully. Okay, with this information. So what we did so far now? Yes, we understood the concept pertaining to number one, mounting the data, nothing but importing the data. Mounting the data means importing the data. Number two, after mounting, we had something called as connections, connection variables. And from connection variables, we are able to simply write data. Here we need to remember import. What we are importing? PySpark.SQL module. Why? For this class, data frame writer, it has got the caliber to write data to required destination. Data frame writer understand this URL. Okay, with this information, we'll stop for some time. What we did so far? Mounting and writing. We'll talk about reading it back. Next example, somewhere. Yes. From here, any clarifications or questions? Let me know.
Sir, the Azure SQL database, which is holding stable cells,
Yes.
table. So can we read from the database itself or only from SQL?
I was telling the very next example, we are going to learn how to read it from the separate process for it. Very next example, we'll do
Sure.
What is the mode that we are using? That currently we are using override, right? If we
next
again,
example, we'll do append. Yes. Append
Okay.
means like to existing data gets appended to existing.
okay. So
Same
if,
way we have other mode we need to understand called upset. Upset is for incremental. Are we getting it?
okay. So now we have 380 records approx. So like if we run again, so it will be just replace those recorded override.
Exactly. Correct. Override.
I say this now. These are the three you shown me command 1, command 3. These are the three ways we can use for reading the data, I mean, extracting the data from SQL database.
Three different commands we are using. Three different commands.
Yeah, three different commands. So either anyone we can use it to extract the data from SQL database. That is the is it right?
You can have everything in a single command also, just like batches.
Yeah, I mean, we can use SQL context.read.csv or this JDBC host name, like same thing, command 3 also. We can either anyone we can use to get that.
Yeah, anyone you can use. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. That's why I gave you both options in the earlier class. We can use it.
Oh,
Hi, Sai.
Tell me.
I have a question. So which one will be the faster to fetch the data out of these three?
I will be able to answer your question tomorrow. Very next item, we need to understand some comparison. There is something called JVM we need to learn. JVM is responsible for deciding the performance.
Okay.
And there we'll talk about how to read the data back. Today we load the data, right? Tomorrow reading the data back.
Thank you.
Next question, please. From these three items, let me know. Fine. I think you'll practice it for today. Right? Everyone, please, will you try?
Yes.
I will practice. Stop for today. Everyone, please confirm. Sure. Stop for today. Any questions, let me know. Emails and just now, please.
I have a question. So first command is just to read the
Yes.
and second is what an operand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Excellent. First one, it is to extract it from the DBMS and create a data frame. They're creating a data.
Correct. After that, we are connecting it to the Azure database and then writing it to the database. Correct. A table.
Yes, exactly. Second one is only to define the connection. I mean, it's not establishing connection. Second command, second cell, it's only to declare the variables needed for URL. First four, out of first four, the first three are there, right? Let me just put this thing. These three are used to define the URL. Plus URL properties, these two are used in the next command, properties.
Okay, all three command, they're independent.
Yes, they're dependent. So second command is only declaration, no execution at all. That's why no jobs are created. Just declaration. The mail everyone, please check it. I'll wait, please.
Sorry, 1 second. No. The first one is reading, right? File reading. First, SQL container.csv, right?
Yes, sir.
And second one is you said declaration.
Declaring variables. They're all the variables.
Okay. And third one is
Writing using those variables.
okay. So these are not three ways to connect the database. These are the three steps to connect. Read, steps, read, connecting, and extract the data from database, right?
Read or extract first step.
Okay, read or extract first.
Right, second step. But for second step, you got some connection details.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe this is Naga because he told something before. I was confused. That's why I want to clarify.
Okay, even I was confused. Okay, let me just here it is. Three ways.
No.
Remember earlier spark.read.csv. You remember earlier?
Yes.
Now you got
Yes.
SQL context dot read dot csv, right, on the screen. Is it this one?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Come on, friends. What's the third one?
Right.
That was my question actually earlier. I said how to read data from CSV. How to read data from format. Oh, exactly. Yes, format. Those three things. Yes. Remember now? Do you remember or not? Spark format. Do you remember or not? Dot format. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Read dot format, right? In format. So that is our actual example. Actually, the very next example we are going to learn about that one. We are going to take that format option. This one. I gave it in the theory part in advance. We are going to practice. Talk about this. Again, which one to choose? We need to compare. We need to wait for at least two more examples. So firstly, extract. Writing here. I just type. I just take it this way. You extract the data. Right here it is. Then define notebook. Data frame to extract. Prepare the connections. Finally, establish connection. Import data. Total three different commands. Question. I'll wait.
Sai in the very first command when I'm executing, it's in the Python script. It says SQL context is not defined. When I say mydf equals SQL context dot read dot csv, here it says. So is it specific to like this error message? Like how to interpret?
Is it SQL notebook or Python notebook?
It's Python notebook.
Then I want to come to your screen. Please click on source. It should work actually. Okay, 1 minute. Is the file name correct?
C should be uppercase, I believe. SQL context.
Is this one fine? Okay. Then C should be uppercase one and 3 dots yes. I think now it's dual.
So only lowercase and uppercase can make a difference here.
Yeah, I was telling the other day, right?
Yeah.
Your file is correct. Yes.
Okay.
My request, just copy paste from the notes. Okay, it's a lot of to understand it. Then it's easier to do some R&D on top of it.
Okay. Okay. One more thing, like, so again, this is a very basic thing. Like, do we have or will we have in the future the IntelliSense kind of thing, like, where it recommends, like, you type something and then it
Drops down.
yeah.
I don't know. We may not.
So as of now, it doesn't.
it don't have similar.
Okay.
I have a question, sorry.
Tell me.
Like to even create a notebook or anything, right? We need to connect the cluster, right? So whatever green tick mark you get seen there, that should be that means that it got connected. For me, it's not getting connected.
Okay. Was there a message when I was starting the cluster?
Yeah, I'm starting it, but it's terminating.
Yeah, what error message you see while terminating? Any
No
quarter?
error. No error.
Please create the
Uh,
cluster.
You can able to see the error message. Even I'm not able to connect it. And I chat with the support group today. So they asked me to try the various regions like Australia, South Australia region will be the easier to get the virtual machine or the resources. So try that. And when you check on the cluster, when you see there is a dot, and that dot is not green. So if you go to that dot at the top, you will see the error message. If you just hover your mouse there.
That is fine. My question was like, did you try in other regions?
Whichever the mouse over it, it's saying terminated. Just terminated. No.
Exactly. The thing is, only one person speak and allow me to speak, and I have to give my answer. Then we can continue. Okay, when we switch over, I have to just mute myself. You want solution? Then please complete the question. Allow me to speak enough. If you are having any error while creating a cluster, try it in South Korea. It will surely work. If not, Australia East will also work. If above things are also not working, mail me your Azure account. I shall provide access to my cluster. As simple as let's make it clear and straight. Every minute is important. No wrangling with the issues, please. Everyone, try South Korea. If not Australia, either of them will work 100%. In case we are not able to mail your Azure account, I'll provide access to my cluster. As simple as.
Sure.
Yes. Simple. Okay, make it straight. Yep. Next question, please. I'll wait. Any more questions? Understand the things carefully. Please tell me, sister. Please tell me.
Sir, is there a way to execute the commandlets using the keyboard instead of clicking that button at the right?
Control enter.
Control enter.
Yes.
Will it run like one commandlet or everything?
Yeah. One. Highlight the command. Highlight.
Yeah. So again, can you show me one more example if you have time now, or okay, or later also to go? That is the connection of like read, write, extract.
We'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing the same thing. We are going to repeat this today's example in a different way tomorrow.
Okay,
Same thing. Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
Sir, one more question. Like in the second command that you had your password mentioned, right? Is it like a security thing? If we do not want that.
We'll see. We can even parameterize. Now, later classes, we'll see how to parameterize the custom. We can parameterize it. We can even embed it inside something called JavaScript object notation. Here it is. We can do parameterizations. We need not even mention the table name also. Okay, we can just give some parameters like this. Everything we can implement.
Okay.
Yes, it's a small concern. I was asking question and very limited response there. Please answer, and if one person is asking a question to me, I will answer it. Okay. Please, others don't interrupt in between. I'll be having my own formulas and mathematics and calculations to do that. Please understand my concern. Please, everyone. You are not new. Okay. Please understand my concern. When we are taking the class, I request participants to write down the running notes. If you are eager enough in practicing in parallel, I will simply screw it up so that the person will be more attentive tomorrow and answer to the questions. I'm not worried about their practice. I'm worried about their response in the class and making sure we're understanding the things correctly. Please understand my concern. I will do my duty carefully. Yes, next question. And tomorrow we'll have a friendly mock test.
Hi, sir.
Let's see how it goes. Sagar, please tell me, sir. Please.
Yeah. So actually, it's related to the previous, we can say the session. So if you can open that 4.1 note.
You tell me your question. Tell me. You proceed with your question. I remember all my life. Tell me.
Sure. Yep. So in 4.1 notes that we are referring one example, and the CSV name is data_geo CSV file.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a sample file.
Yeah, sample file. So I'm unable to from where exactly I have to upload it because it's showing database.
Not record, it's a sample, inbuilt sample. I was comparing system databases.
Okay. So we can refer here that file as well, right? Sales data, which we.
Exactly. Just like this. For example, you got one SQL server. They had a master database with you, right? Automatically.
Right.
Same way. You got this file automatically. Need not upload. That's why the notes does not include any steps for uploading or mounting the file somewhere. Right.
Okay. So we need to replace that path with the sales data which we uploaded previous example.
For example, today we did the same thing. We said spark.read.csv or spark. SQL context read.csv, right? We said
okay, yes, sir. I'm just trying to searching the Databricks data set and all. Okay, but it's I think so manually created, right? The path.
Exactly.
Okay.
Manual.
And that's it. Thank you.
Salesforce, yeah, fine. Salesforce, you could see some duplicate logins from there. That's the actual issue.
Okay.
Please log out from one of the duplicate logins. Salesforce, then you should be working fine. Others, please let me know any questions. Can we have a friendly mock test tomorrow, please?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and I gave some FAQ. Thank you, done, friends, everyone. FAQ, done, please. Yes, sir. Yes. Please. Yes, done.
Yes.
Please submit. Okay, I request you. Please submit everything as soon as possible.
One more question.
Any issues on cluster? Please mail me your Azure account. I'll provide access to my cluster. Let's make it simple. I want you to try. If not, mail me. I'll do it. Please tell me, sister. Proceed. Yeah.
Sir, I again created the cluster with the Australia account and it's still showing me the error, the SKU not available.
I understand. Just mail me your Azure account to me. Okay. I'll provide the access to my Azure account.
Oh, thanks.
I'll provide a small video also how to access. Simple explain. I'll do everything ready.
I'll immediately email it to you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but I didn't mention about this earlier because I want you to first try from your end. Okay, everyone, please. Having steps. I want you to try. To try it first. If not, you have my WhatsApp number. please try. If not, WhatsApp me. I say right. Just do immediately. You try what all you can friends everyone. If not, just mail. Get it right. Every minute is important for us. Don't linger with issues in any case. Not only here, everywhere. Do what all we can step by step. Document them. Okay. Anything else? No, nothing. That's okay. Contact the vendor. As simple as that. Get it. We should be, utilizing our time carefully. Please understand. I'll wait for an update. Tomorrow we have a friendly mock test. Then we can easily decide the next examples. Do it carefully. Well, let's have a friendly mock test. Thank you. Have a nice day. Please practice. Thank you.
I have one thing.
Tell me.
Can I just
Tell me.
Everything is set up. The only thing is I am unable to connect to the SQL server with SSMS. I tried using Excel also, but it doesn't work like both the tools. I'm just getting an error message.
Sure, brother. I understand. Please mail me the WhatsApp or mail me the screenshot of the error message.
Sure.
Okay, just a WhatsApp. You have my WhatsApp number with you, right?
I do have.
Sure. Just
I'll just
WhatsApp.